Guys, so this is our book that I pulled up on Epic. It's called Spotlight on Kenya, and we see up here at the top a header. Now, Miss McKinney did a lot of lessons last week on text features. So this header right here tells us lots of important information. It's going to tell us that ultimately that's what this page is going to be about, and this is our big question like we discussed in our last video. What is culture? So we're hoping by the end of this, we're going to have some type of idea of how to describe in general what culture is and start thinking about our own culture. So some other text features that I see right off the bat are photographs. So I see real photographs, not illustration, and I see captions. Captions are super important, especially here, because I'm really learning about this topic and I'm going to need these captions to explain these things to me. So what we're going to do is I'm going to read this to you, and I want you to follow along as I read, and feel free to pause this and read it for yourself, or pause it and read it whenever I'm finished. And then we're going to look at the chart that I have made to kind of help myself think through what my own culture is, and that's what you are going to do on your PowerPoint slide at the end of this video. So at this point, again, you should have already watched the first video, the introduction to our topic of culture, and this is our second step, and our third will be to complete your slide. So what is culture? Kenya, which is the country in Africa that I told you we're going to be talking about, Kenya has many cultures. Culture is the beliefs, customs, and ways of life that a group of people shares. Now, we know we're reading nonfiction. Sometimes, I mean, they're telling us what this means, but I need more information than just these words. So I really like this next sentence. It says, ways of life include the way people dress, the foods they eat, the crafts they make, and the sports and games they play. So that gave me a lot better idea of when I'm thinking about my own culture, like how do I dress? What are the types of foods that I eat? What are some crafts I like to make? What are sports I like to play or watch? A big part of American culture is watching sports. So I want to remind you one more time, just like in the video before, culture is not always just because it's a different country, you have a different culture, but culture varies from the household that you live in, the family that you have, and from person to person. So when you're thinking about these things, I really want you to be thinking about yourself and your family when you're thinking about food you eat, how you dress, and things like that. So I'm not going to read the next part just because that goes into the specific Kenyan culture, and we're going to be talking about that the very next day. So I just want to keep here with what we are learning about what culture specifically is. So I'm going to go up and I'm going to show you one more thing. So this is my chart that I made. Now yours will be on a PowerPoint slide, but at the top you'll see that I have what is culture. Culture is. Now I left this blank for a reason. First of all, this is my planning tool right here. It kind of gets me thinking about my own culture and how it might be alike or different from other cultures that I know. I'm going to fill this out, my general idea of what I think culture is, after I think about my own. I think about maybe that Kenyan culture I kind of just looked at. After I discuss it with someone in my house, I highly encourage you to do that, to discuss their thoughts on culture, because just like culture is very hard to describe, every individual person has their own definition of what a culture is. But this is the part we're going to focus on, and I filled this out for you as an example for myself. So clothes I wear: jeans, t-shirts, dresses, yoga pants, tennis shoes, sandals. Of course, I could go on if I listed my whole wardrobe, but these are the main types of things that I wear. The main types of food that I eat: pasta, chicken, steaks, burgers, ice cream. Games I like to watch or play are football, soccer, tennis. You guys know I love the New Orleans Saints, so I had to put that there just because I wanted to. So these things got me thinking, and I'll explain what I mean. So I have a cousin who is a vegetarian. Her whole family are vegetarians. They do not eat meat, and I have chicken and steak and burgers, and we have cookouts, and we eat those types of things, whereas her family does not. They have different beliefs. They believe that being vegetarian is better for you. They don't like to eat meat. Therefore, they're my cousins and we're related, but we still have completely different cultures and beliefs in some areas. Now, I have these things in common with my cousins. We do the same things here, but are different here. So it's one main reason I wanted to explain that culture is so different from person to person and family to family. And when I say family, I mean the people that live in your house, and even the ones that do live in your house may be different than you. So just thinking about your culture. So when you're done with this video, the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to go onto the next slide and you are going to fill out this exact information on yourself. And then you are going to complete the top part as well. Again, am not completing mine yet because tomorrow I'm going to come back and look at what you guys said, that it was some of the things that I think, and kind of create my own definition of culture. And I want to see your thinking first. So we will come back to this tomorrow. So you will go on and complete that slide, and I can't wait to see what you guys are thinking.